entertainment, insight. Don't take life too serious. Welcome to Brainsky Unleashed. This episode's going to be a little bit different. I decided to have Malachi Armstrong come back. And I also decided to have Maurice Hamilton join me. Malachi's been really struggling to find his way as far as what his business goals really are. I thought, let me have Maurice and I get together, work with Malachi, provide some basic coaching, so that way hopefully we can help him get off the ground. So with that, let's get started. Malachi, how can we help you?
Yes. I am just starting out as an entrepreneur. I'm looking to really grow as a person as well. My aspirations is in the field of life coaching. So far, I just know that I'm pretty much lost. Like, I'm just lost at sea. This is something new to me, completely new. I didn't anticipate nor expect nor plan for things to go the way they go. I believe that's the journey of every entrepreneur to some extent. I've heard bits and pieces of stories where entrepreneurs along the way have felt lost and went through their ups and downs. So I've tried to use that. I heard this saying a few times that Rocky, when he had to eat sugar honey iced tea scene, those times we had to really go through it. So I've tried to sit on that and be like, all right, I know I'm gonna have to go through these things, but I just don't have the complete understanding, insight, support, and sometimes it feel like I don't even have enough drive as much as I'm pushing myself and as hard as I am on myself. Some people say I need to show myself more grace, but I just don't. I just know that I don't have it all together, and I definitely have to reach out.
Okay, so Maurice, what are your thoughts initially? What advice would you give him? I mean, clearly he has an aspiration. He's got a fire. He's lost. What do you think he should do?
And a really great question there. And I would have to say my words of wisdom would be, don't give up. And I don't know the story, and I don't know the what's going on with everything that happens. But when Tom did the initial introduction, he said Maurice also a very successful business. It wasn't always like that, and I could go back and tell you the days when growing up on the South Side of Chicago, and I even before you moved to Chicago, just when we were little kids, where my mom was actually four of us that actually at that time, and she wasn't married, and we had to struggle. We lived with my grandmother back in my neighborhood. We said my big mother, so, and I know we didn't have anything. I know what it's like when we don't have things. And I've always made a commitment to myself and saying, no matter what happens, I'll always keep pushing myself. And there have been some dark days. There have been days where, we wouldn't have money. I couldn't even join a Boy Scout. So I remember we didn't have money. And I loved baseball back in the days. I couldn't even join the Little League baseball team at that particular time for it. But I always said that, or keep pushing it. And I remember the dark days, and Thomas and I were talking about this earlier. One day when I had the money, I said, "Oh, everything's going to be okay," and that money went from X amount of dollars down to like zero real quick. And then nothing that I was doing, but it was the economic forces, outside forces, that changed it. But one thing that no matter what happened with it, every single day, and before I went to bed, I kept saying, "You know what? Today was not a great day. I gave it, but tomorrow's gonna be a better day." And I did that for probably a good 400 or 500 days, and I keep pushing it. And because nobody's gonna push me like I was gonna push myself. But when I have my goals and and after a while, you take your goals and say, okay, let's take step one first. Let's get from here to here and take a baby step forward. But I've started to learn how to take those baby steps to say, this is the first thing I want to accomplish. Let me put my mind to this. Let me get the right people that can actually help me get to this particular level. And it made a difference over the years, but it's always like baby step, baby step, baby step. And no matter how much you go, it's just like you get up the, up the 15 flights of stairs, and you still got a long way to go. Somebody hits you or trips you and knocks you back down 5 flights of stairs, So you just got to keep pushing that in order to level.
So Maurice says baby steps, right? So let's actually put something to this. Malachi, you've said that you want to do business coaching, right?
Yes, life coaching. Yeah.
Okay. Life coaching. What kind of baby steps need to get done to get you rolling? All right. So, what have you currently got established so we know where you're at, so we can kind of offer some advice to what baby steps need to be taken next? What do you have currently established for yourself for that life coaching business?
Well, I'm working on getting myself certified. I have brought a $7 NLP course, so I'm studying neurolinguistics programming. I do have a PayPal account set up because when I signed up for a business coaching ticket, they taught me how to sign up to receive payments and invoices and things of that nature. But that wasn't one of those baby steps either. That was like beyond my understanding of where I should really be at that point, particular time. I'm watching YouTube videos, trying to learn little techniques and things of that nature, and understanding how sessions should go, what type of questions I should ask, and things of that nature. Because a fine distinction that was pointed out to me when I was listening to an audiobook was how some people become coaches, quote unquote, and they don't make the distinction between impactful coaching and just give us unsolicited advice. So I'm trying to make sure that I understand that difference and know what I'm doing, because if I'm not sure what I'm doing, I'm not sure if I'm capable of doing it. And I don't know when I'm talking with somebody if I'm actually doing the impactful coaching or if I'm just giving unsolicited advice.
Okay. So Maurice, do you have anything baby step wise? I know I've got something, but I'll let you go first.
I do. Let me ask the first question would be, Malachi, do you actually have a coach yourself? Like a coach, somebody who's actually a life coach right now, coaching you?
I've come into everything on my own. I've had like people here and there, but not no life coach that's like right there. When life coaching found me, it was just something that was calling me, and I was like, this is definitely what I want to do. And then I would look up life coaches on YouTube, and I tried to, pay for a ticket or two, and it was just like, okay, I know this is probably not how I should be going about it, but I just wanted to immerse myself into the field to try to get as much knowledge and experience as possible.
Yeah. My first advice would be, and the first thing we need to do is find somebody who is the experienced in that particular area, who's actually been doing it for many, many years, because the more experience that you have for somebody that's very successful, let them make sure to say, you know what, here's the road to success. Let me put you on the right track so you can actually get there.
The
Hate that.
the thing that I'm going to tell you, Malachi, is and this is absolutely a baby step, but it's a critical baby step.
Yeah.
You need to be able to, and do it in writing, and put some thought behind it, but identify who your market is. Who are your customers? If you don't know who your customers are, you don't know who to market to. So that's a big step one right there.
Yes. So because I have my podcast and it's defining all definitions and that's targeted on dads, I just figured I might as well just deal with dads. I'm a man, I'm a father. So I was feeling like I can bring the coaching to the podcast with maybe advice and things of that nature, and promote the package on the podcast. So at the end of the day, I think I'll just fall back on dads and then let it go from there.
So you're saying that you're going to fall back on the podcast to do that. I think you need a little bit more horsepower behind you. Maurice, what do you
I 100% agree. And I think that would be like secondary right now until you build it up, but then it needs to be a first step first. Something else so you can actually go back and supplement that in that particular capacity. I agree. Yeah, it looks like your light went out. Well, with that,
Yeah, I was sitting in the car.
getting dark.
All right. So baby step one here is identifying your market, which you're saying dads, but I think you need to be a little bit more broader, go a little bit broader than that. Maybe your market is dads, but is it younger dads? Is it older dads? Is it also maybe kids growing up, late teens, early 20s? Are there other things that you can possibly help people with other than just strictly dads? I think dads, unfortunately, is a little too broad.
Definitely. I would have to take some time to figure that out, sir. I'm not even
Oh yeah. I'm saying, this is what I mean. That baby
Yeah.
step for you is
Yeah.
identify your market. Really dig deep to try and figure out that market and how you're going to help people. The other thing, the first thing I thought of actually even before that was you probably don't even have a website, do you, Malachi?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, there. Do you have a website?
No, sir, I don't.
I mean, not that the website's going to generate a ton of revenue for you, but it's a virtual pamphlet, right? And, I would at least say that's another baby step of getting that established. Hey, for more information, go to my website. So that way, as you're on your podcast, for more information, go to my website, which may have contact information, talk about the service you provide, things like that. Maurice, you got anything else on maybe another step?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I agree with that digital website because that's what people use right now for reference. The other thing, when we go back into the target audience, is there a certain area that you feel like, look, I've got a lot of experience. This is what I'm going to focus on. For example, I have a friend of mine. She actually helps people with brain disorders. Another one that actually helps people when they're actually looking for jobs. Do you have a specific area that you want to focus on? Say, this is you're identifying the target audience. Here's what your core specialist is going to be. Bam. Have you identified that?
No, sir, I haven't. I love that you put it that way, because in my eyes, it was like dads was that thing, like, because I had the podcast and I had my experiences. So what made me feel like I could do that was because I had like, quote unquote, call myself an adversity coach, because I had been through so much, like childhood trauma, abuse. I've been homeless, and then I was incarcerated. So I dealt with a lot, and I had to persist in my mindset and my belief that I can overcome those things.
And I think that's a really great focus. And I was telling you earlier about a little bit about my life, my background. Instead, if I were to do this right now, I would actually focus on working with children or like with young men to actually say, you don't have a dad around. So let me tell you how you can stay motivated and actually how you can still aspire for your dreams. But I'm going to focus on one particular niche. And I like how you actually, because you kind of focus that area into what you say. I've got experience, bam, 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 in those particular area. Hell, you could take the prison, a prison type area right there. That could be a focus area right there by itself. You know, that's a big area right there. You could just take them, each one of them, say, these are my specialties, bam, bam, bam. You could take it from that, you know.
Do you have, Malachi, do you have a fee structure even set up to know what you would charge for what different services, or, is it by hour, by call, do you have anything set up, established at this time?
Oh, I don't. I was going to be like on Clubhouse trying to, like get my experience that way. So I had came up with like a price point, and I was just going to be like, hey, we can just sit and conversate about what you're going through as far as adversity wise. And I was going to charge dot, dot, dot. And it would just be by this, not by the session, but monthly, and I was just going to do it like that.
Can I suggest that maybe you do it by session, so maybe have a per session deal, a per package deal, or per X amount of sessions deal. So that way, if anyone wants to talk to you, you're not lost when you're trying to say, because if somebody is interested in your services, they want to know what it's going to cost, and they're going to lose comfort with you if you waffle on what it's going to cost. You got to be confident enough to go, yeah, and actually, one session costs this, or, we have a package deal, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes, of course. Yep. And I never been approached about how I would go about pricing my sessions and things of that nature. These are things that I've been trying to like understand and watch things on YouTube about, like how when I would go about these things.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's an important one. I'm going to actually pose this to Maurice, because an idea I had as we were talking, Maurice, we have someone here who wants to get the word out, right? He wants to do this, wants to get the word out, wants to build a customer base. Can virtual assistants help with that?
Yes and no. So what a virtual assistant would do would actually contact people, like uses via phone, or they'll help you do flyers. But nobody delivers the flyers, it won't put meet and things anymore. But a virtual assistant can actually say, let's say, Malachi, if you want to send an email out to, let's say, X amount of people, whatever that group is, they can actually take your information, exactly what Thomas was talking about there, and actually put down what your deliverables were, and they can send that information out to people so that they can actually, that way they could tell people your story. They could tell people more about you. So a virtual assistant can actually help in that capacity, where they can actually help. In other words, you take your stuff and you multiply it. You have somebody, and their whole job is just to focus on getting the word out about you. So the answer is VA can help them in that particular manner, but especially after you get the web, especially after we go back and have your fee structure, and especially after you have put down what your deliverables are, because you're going to put down, say, if you work with me, I'm Malachi, I've done this, and this is what I know. Here's what you can expect by working with me, and outline clearly what the deliverables are. They can actually help you deliver your message and your content. Yes.
Okay. So what we've talked about then is identifying the market. We've talked about the website, right?
Yes.
We talked about the price list, identifying prices. Maurice, can you think of like one other baby step that he can take, maybe, and maybe we do a follow-up call in the next, week or 2 weeks or something like that. And so we can kind of, follow his progress and help him along and see, where he may be stumbling.
Yeah, I would say the other thing would be, the last thing I mentioned about that deliverables, to say, what is the outcome what are the results that you want people to have when they talk to you? And you don't have to go back into, a whole page of all the information for it, but just put down, a couple of, like 3 or 4 bullet points and say, when they're done working with me, they're going to have bam, 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 and just kind of like outline what they can expect that you're going to deliver to them and how you're going to help them, and something else either on top of that, why you want to help them,
Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. And that why has to be that why has to be tied to not only your website, but anything that you would possibly do with virtual assistants down the road. And I say down the road because there's a lot of steps that have to take place before you go virtual assistant. But the why behind the deliverables, behind the website, it all has to be tied to that why, right?
Yes.
That it's that core. And that's pretty critically important. Do you think that you can do these things in the next?
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I would try my hardest. And the reason being is that I'm getting ready to go to McDonald's tomorrow and fill out an application there because I'm so behind on bills and things of that nature because I wasn't making enough where I'm at now with this independent contracting job. So I would be putting a lot of my time into that as far as the virtual assistant and the money for that thing. For whatever I had to kick out money for, I have to first come across that money because that's how behind I am, honestly.
Okay.
Where,
All
where,
right.
where you looking?
I'm in Phil.
Okay.
So I've got great news for you, Malachi. It's going to cost you nothing to figure out how to identify your market. It's going to cost you nothing to figure out what your deliverables are.
Right.
It's going to cost you nothing to figure out what your pricing structure is. The three critical things right there that will cost you absolutely nothing. All right.
Yeah.
The website won't cost you much, but you got to feed the kids first. All right.
Yeah.
So the website can wait a little bit. Now, what about a social media strategy? Maurice, is there anything he could do for free on social media that may help him in lieu of the financial crunch that he's under?
Yep. And there's 2 days. It won't cost you anything to do this either. Do you have a Facebook site for your business set up yet?
No.
Here's your website.
Yep. Set up a Facebook site, one, and also set up like an Instagram.
I do have an Instagram.
Oh, good. Does it have your business? What's your business name anyway, Malachi?
I go by Y Coach Kai, and the LLC that I have set up is God Consciousness Production.
Okay. Oh, cool. So you can actually set up the like the Instagram, so White Coach Kai, and it just once a week, twice a week, put something really positive out there, and say something like inspirational, and put that information on Instagram, and then say for coaching, call Coach Kai. And put something, email me, DM me, so that way you can actually start to give advice. And something that I don't think about it, the first time you try to help some people, give it for them free. Go back because you could take that information and you can say, okay, if you don't mind, let me do a testimonial from you. And actually, you can actually document some of the information. You can actually get them to a testimonial about how you actually helped them. Even though you gave it to them free, it's not going to be free because it's actually going to be the staple that you need to get to the next level. So what do you think about that, Thomas?
I love the idea. As a matter of fact, I'm going to expand on that one. And again, you can do this absolutely free. I'm not one who personally loves to peruse Facebook or Instagram or whatever and just see random positive, aspirational sayings, right? I don't think that really catches people. But I am going to say that if you do put on there things from your life, lessons learned, share some lessons that you learned. Maybe it's a long time ago, or maybe it's something that was recent. And maybe you're just, quipping something very simple about, hey, I was doing blah, blah, blah with my daughter the other day. And as a father, I realized this or that. I mean, really making it authentic and personal is going to take you a lot farther. But I still think you need to mix in some inspirational things like that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But be as authentic and human as you can. And I think that's going to probably also help kind of build that general basis for trust and appreciation for you. It's all free.
Yeah.
That's free.
And then he can even, like I said, take some of the information for it and just make a 20-second, 30-second video, clip of you giving advice,
As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I like that so much, and we're going to take this another level, Malachi. So again, free. So instead of just simply posting, a story, maybe you take that story and you record yourself telling the story and you put that on YouTube, and then you share that YouTube video, because YouTube, you can monetize YouTube. And once you've hit X amount of clicks, YouTube will pay you. And so that's just another way of actually taking what you've made for free. And it's going to take time. I don't want to overpromise this, but if you do this consistently, then YouTube will end up paying you for all the content that you've been creating all along anyway, as people click on it.
I think that's an awesome idea. I think about, and we all heard of the story with Walt Disney. Walt Disney said something really smart way back 40, 50 years ago before we were even born. He said, always tell a story. Always tell a story.
It paid off well for the Disney family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we've just given you a lot that can be done absolutely free. Even the Facebook business page is your new website, free. You can do all of these things while you're working at McDonald's or while you're trying to DoorDash or whatever it is that you're trying to do to get the money together to continue growing yourself and your entrepreneurial adventure. What are your thoughts?
I love everything that y'all had to say. I really got to focus on myself in the market and what I aspire to deliver not just the deliverables, but deliver as far as results for my clients, for my target market.
Yeah. There's a lot that's got to
I
take
think
place
it's
before you
mostly
do that.
you said it's a lot of steps to take before I'm able to do that.
Yeah. You have a lot of steps that are literal baby steps. We're literally giving you these baby steps to follow, but that's why I want to follow up with you and say like 3 weeks. I mean, I'm giving you 3 weeks to do all these things for free that you can do with your free time. And so I think that, Maurice, would you be good with doing this again in about 3 weeks and just kind of seeing where he's at and maybe kind of going from there and taking it to another level, or maybe helping
Absolutely.
him out from there?
Absolutely. And I think that these are small baby steps and that you can put in place right now. So absolutely. I'm more than happy to help.
I love it. What do you think, Malachi?
I love it. I love the support that I'm getting. I love the fact that y'all not holding back. Y'all looking at it from where y'all see it. And if you was in my shoes and what y'all doing by taking y'all time out and doing this.
Okay. Well, on that, we're going to close out this episode. I thank you both. I look forward to doing this again here in a few weeks. And I know that I'm going to be praying for you. And I wish you absolutely the best over the next few weeks. And we'll touch base again and see where we're at and see if we can help you grow.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm
Thank you.
honored.
And thank you, Maurice.
Thank you,
you.
man. It's a pleasure and a blessing to meet you. Once in a lifetime
Likewise.
opportunity, man, to share this experience and whatever comes about it. Like I'm thank you.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to talk again in a few weeks. Thank you so much. If you like this program, hit the subscribe button. Leave us a 5-star review. Most importantly, share it with your friends so they can enjoy it too.